Pangean.
She's no, she's an Aryan. She's an anti-Semitic dog.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Oscars and shit.
Well, look at her. She's all white. She has blue eyes. She hates Jews.
It's Jews.
Sandy, you hate Jews? I hate them.
You also, guys, so we're start the podcast right
All right,
now.
let's start it up.
What's up? Me and Josh have a podcast because we're both people who like really, people should really know what we're thinking.
We should know what we're thinking and talking about.
Yeah, we have ideas and people should really know our ideas because we're right about most things.
Yeah, obviously, if you're tuning in right now, you've already made the right decision. Because obviously, Yoni was born in Eretz
New Jersey,
Israel, correct?
No, I moved when I was like 5.5, 6 years old.
Oh, occupier.
Occupier.
You fucking piece of shit. New Jersey is occupying Israel. What part of Israel did you move to?
Modin. Yeah. It's a nice little city right between Jerusalem and Tel Aviv.
Oh, beautiful. I think that's where my father is buried.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It could be a huge cemetery there.
Is there? Because I know that he's buried right between the two.
Yeah.
It's probably
no, because Modin is like sort of like the whole city is just like industrialized. Like there's like a lot of like factories and shit, and like even all the houses look the same. Like they'll give this to like one project manager. They'll give it to, like the whole street, and all the houses on the street will look the same.
So it's Queens.
It's like basically Queens. No, actually, it's even built like Queens. Like it's got like yeah,
I know.
Like I live like there's like 3 streets with the same name as my street name. Like it's wild.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we do that shit.
Belly Chamesh, Belly Shesh,
Belly Shesh,
Belly Sheva.
Yeah.
Why you gotta see? You see, she's a fucking terrorist.
But
this is a terrorist-free show.
Yeah.
In case you're just tuning in, the only terrorist that will be here is my Siberian Husky, Sammy.
We don't support terrorism, but the truth, I wanted to ask your opinion on something.
Yeah.
Some guy like I met.
It needs to be that blatant though.
No.
I think you just go there and be like, October 7th was justified. Jewish babies need to fry.
That's a good one.
You know?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Like, Zionist Jews show no loving, put their babies in an oven. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we could do shit like that. Yeah, we could just make posters like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no loving for the Zionists.
Free booze, burn the Jews.
Yeah. And we could hand out alcohol. And then when like the fucking left-wing social justice warrior lunatic kids come to get free shots, we'll be like, you know that you'll be killed for drinking alcohol in the Sharia.
This is actually a Jewish movie handing out like margaritas and shit. It's like, this is actually the blood of a baby.
We should hand out drinks at pro-Hamas rallies and then just make them say the Hagef.
Yeah.
I want you to say something. It's in Arabic. It's very detrimental. Baruch atah Elohim el Chalam, B'rei Pri Hagefen.
And I want to thank their front winery for this.
I think that's the way we could actually win this war. Is if we just get people who hate the Jews to say Jewish prayers.
That's funny.
Even if we just trick them into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what would happen? They wouldn't say Jewish prayer.
Be like, oh, you really want Jews out of Israel? Well, we know the secret words to that. It's Baruch atah Adonai. That means all the Jews must die. Eloheinu melech haolam. Whatever we do, let's just cause them harm. Hamotzi lechem mina aretz. We're going to kill them and chase them into the forest. And then we'll just get them to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
It almost translates because mina aretz is like from the land.
Yeah, I know. Listen, bro.
It really works.
I'm a very well-versed Jew.
It's like the new Chabad, like the...
If you're just watching right now, we're still figuring out what the hell we should call ourselves. Initially, I proposed radical and radicler. Who do you think is more radical, you or I?
I don't know. It depends on what. You wanted to nuke after October 7th.
Did I want to nuke after October 7th?
Yeah, what would your response? Let's get to it. What would your response be? Let's say you're fucking Bibi Netanyahu right now. You're sitting in the Knesset, but you got that other place.
Or
October 7th, yeah. What do you do the next day?
The thing is that we're fighting an enemy, Hamas, who has no regard for life.
Yeah.
In fact, they discuss it openly. It's something they're proud of. that they celebrate, and then this goes back even to what's her name, our female prime minister,
Golda
Meir, where she states that, we forgive you for killing our children, but we don't forgive you for making us kill yours.
Yeah.
They have openly stated that they cherish death. If you fight an enemy who wants to die, that's like fighting a boxer, being an MMA fighter, and be like, I can't wait till I get in the ring tonight and you break my fucking jaw and I die because my next friend's gonna come back and kill your family. Like, that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
Like, how do you fight an enemy like that? And the way you fight an enemy like that is you fight them till every last lunatic who believes this ideology is dead.
Okay.
Which is unfortunate, because that's what, a big amount of money is being spent, which should be spent on helping build up the Palestinian people over there, is spent on building an ideology of death above everything. Yeah. So, like, what would my response be? I don't know, because, like, do I want to take my beautiful, healthy youth of Eretz Yisrael, of Israel, the future of our people, who every single one of them has a future, just like every other human. Every human on this planet has exponential possibilities of doing good in the world, of putting whatever intelligence Hashem, the creator of the universe, blessed them with. Everybody's blessed with gifts. So the loss of one life is the most sorrowful thing in the world. It's the most horrific thing. But do I want to send my brothers and sisters into the depths of hell, surrounded by 50,000 terrorists who are also using their family as shields and putting them in there? Because, like, people are like, why did Israel, do strikes, against, the Gaza territories before putting their soldiers in? Because the enemy enclosed themselves around children and their families and schools and graveyards and stuff. Should I sacrifice? I mean, listen, could we have gone in there? Can we still go in there? Yeah, you know what? If Jews really didn't equivocate 0.2% of the entire world's population, if we had 1 billion Jews, yeah, you know what? Maybe it would be worth it for us to send 300,000 Jews and flood the Gaza Strip and go door by door searching and fighting terrorists one by one.
But I feel like the percentage of terrorists there is like way, way higher than we think. Like,
of course it's way higher.
I have a friend that's in the army. He said that almost every house they go. What?
Do you consider a terrorist just somebody who picks up a gun or carries weapons to somebody who picks up a gun, or somebody who hides people who have weapons, or hides people who've been kidnapped? Like, who do you consider a terrorist? Like, because to me, as far as it can go is as far as what you're willing to collaborate with. Mm-hmm. I don't think every Palestinian is a terrorist.
No.
I think, most people are normal human beings who just want to live a peaceful life, who just want to have a life where they can have, wake up in the morning, have breakfast, send their children to school, let them grow up to be happy. But I definitely know that...
And kill the Jews.
Well, if you leave it up to UNRWA, which thankfully is going to be...
I disagree. I think like Palestine's like, it's been around like since like the 90s, like the state of Palestine. I think...
Well, no, in 1986 is when Yasser Arafat came up with the term Palestine, and they stole the Jordanian flag and put a star on it and said these are Palestinians.
I think terrorist attacks...
Which, by the way, we all both know that the original flag for Palestine from 1939 is a Magen David, which is the Star of David, which is the same as the flag of Israel. But
I actually think that Palestinian culture is already like paying for terrorism. Like, I feel like that like tax money from Palestinians has gone to families of terrorists for so long. That's already part of your culture. It's a cultural thing that you do.
It is a culture.
Like killing Jews, like it's part of your culture. I don't think that like most Palestinians, I think their culture is really this like terrorism and shit.
I agree, but however, I don't think when a human being is born, like even if your parents are trying to manipulate you in the school system, a lot of humans are born with enough intelligence to see the difference. I follow a lot of Arabic Muslim people on the internet who are pro-Israel.
There's a lot.
Who, I forgot his name, but
everyone from the Emirates, like the
United Arab Emirates.
They love it.
Well, UAE is like one of the greatest examples of modernization. Like, listen, Judaism if we took Judaism completely at its core, like when we listen to if you disobeyed the Sabbath, if you go out on Shabbat on a Friday night, you should be stoned to death.
You need
two people. But still, there's radicalism.
Yeah, like fucking Ron Burman running around. He broke Shabbos. He broke the Sabbath. Stone him. Stone him. I saw him with my mother, the first lesbian.
I wouldn't be surprised. But listen, I love my religion. Mm-hmm. I love Judaism. I believe in it 100%. Do I believe that people who go out on the Sabbath should be killed?
No.
But
because I would be dead.
Because I would be
fucking my funeral.
Murdered the day after my bar mitzvah.
I wouldn't fucking be.
The day after my bar mitzvah, I would have been stoned to death. It doesn't negate my faith in the creator of the universe and the belief in the Torah. Yeah. It doesn't change any of that. So I don't see why, and same with Christianity and Catholicism. We look at the Crusades, we look at the beginnings of Christianity and Catholicism. People were getting murdered and killed back 100%. Then for the same things. You look what the Spaniards did to the Jews, during the Inquisition. They murdered millions, hundreds of thousands at least. You look what what was done in the Ottoman Empire to Christians and Jews. It's called we grow up, we modernize. We can still hold into our fundamentals and our beliefs and our faith. We can still have our connection to our creator. And even in Islam, where certain aspects of it may, be at a direct, opposition to it, you can still have your faith in your creator and your beliefs and everything without having to believe in destruction. 100%. We all, in all of our faiths, in Christianity, in Judaism, in Islam, I don't know if Buddhists and Hindus believe in this, but we all believe in the end of times.
Yeah.
We all believe there comes a time where we all have to murder and kill each other, and the real true God of this and the true God of that, and this is the real Messiah, and this is the Messiah of death and the Antichrist. We all can still believe that. Why don't we modernize
what's going on
in the meantime?
Yeah.
Why don't we all just agree to just chill the fuck out and believe in our faiths? Believe in our faiths wholeheartedly without the radical part.
The truth is, I actually asked a rabbi about that once, but the killing people from keeping Shabbos or stoning a woman who cheats on her husband or something like that. And he said that they almost never did these things in the time of the Torah. It was more of if he's a bad dude, but you don't have evidence. If OJ trial, you would have killed him for not keeping Shabbos. Okay. You know what? We know he murdered his wife. It's not evidence.
I don't want to promote Judaism super much and seem like that, we're,
we're on a mission. Yeah. We're on a mission.
But the truth is,
buyatoraPamphlet.com.
I have some Chabad about to come in.
Parshatshavuot.com.
We should get a Lubavitch Chabad kid to come here and wrap the camera.
As you just
wrap the camera for it.
The mikvah edition. I'm kidding.
The truth of the matter is, what I see is that Judaism and Torah, what they gave to the modern world that we live in, is rules and regulations. It's law. Because prior to, people call it Judeo-Christianity, it was Judeo for I don't know how many thousand years before Jesus Christ came about.
Exactly.
But it's Judeo law. It's, the Ten Commandments, and then the Talmud and the Tanakh and everything forward. It all came down to rules and regulations, laws. And the reason we have rules, regulations, and laws is so we can have a civilized society. It's those laws that give us the ability to be able to have civility, to be able to have differences with our neighbors without telling people they need to be stoned to death for the Sabbath. That's why, so like, even in the earliest texts of the Torah, where like there's rules that you break and you're supposed to be stoned to death, it has to be 2 people. They both have to agree on the time. Like, you know, like it's to show you the seriousness of certain things.
Yeah.
So anyway, please make sure you check out Chabad.com.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you, it's crazy. Imagine if it really was like that, and like, let's say like, me and you wanted to like take someone out. Okay, like, let's say we wanted to kill Ron Burgundy. Yeah, we just go there.
No, me and Yoni.
I saw him.
We
flick the light switch.
I was outside checking on my goat, and I saw Ron Berman just hanging out. He was lighting fires and cooking shish kebabs.
Yeah, and just yelling, "Fuck the Sanhedrin." We both saw it.
We did.
Yeah. 4:30, we could stone him.
So, like, I saw you. You've been posting this. I've seen a lot of other Jews and Zionist websites. The Nuke, what are they fucking called?
Nuteir Karta.
Nuteir Karta.
Yeah.
Right? What the fuck? So, like, say, what's the right way?
Nuteir Karta.
Nuteir Karta.
Yeah.
Nuteir Karta. So, if you don't know who that is, those are the guys who call themselves Jews. And you see them with Iranian groups. You see them in the pro-Hamas rallies.
On Shabbos.
On the Shabbat, which is like something a religious Jew would never do in the world. The only reason in the world, and even that they question, is like life or death.
Right.
And even that, they'd be like, do we really need to take the hospital now? Do we really need to leave the house? It's just one gunshot.
Like, how much blood would she lose?
I think my aunt, who's Chabad, very religious, I think she went, just when my stepfather died, she broke the Sabbath just to be with my mother because she was by herself. Yeah. You know, like, and that was like very big for her to even do. It's a very serious thing. But these guys claim to be religious Jews. Yeah. You see them all over the place. This is like the number one thing where I get into fights with people on the internet who are like, yeah, well, what about the Jews who say that you're pieces of shit? You're not wrong in Israel.
They're the real Jews.
Yeah. They very may well be Jews. I mean, there's one thing they tell you as a Jew is that you can't ever be judgmental towards another Jew. Have you heard that before? Yeah. Like, you're like, all right, you're told, like, if that's a Jew, you know, like there's some very famous other Jews who people like to bring up a lot now who've been in trouble for having islands in the Caribbean and shit like that. And they love to bring that up. And at the same time, I'm like, I can't talk bad about him or them.
Not that you could.
The thing is, they tell you can't, but they also say you can't about these guys.
Okay.
You know?
I think you can.
They're wearing kifias and they're calling for the death of Jews and they're
basically pro-Hamas.
They're denying the Holocaust. But the thing is that in Judaism, if you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit.
You're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit.
I've never met a Jewish community that would accept someone who's molesting kids or stealing from cars and robbing businesses. Like, we take care of our own. Like, we'll
try to handle it like internally also.
Yeah. Like, we have jails and prisons in Israel. Yes, they have swimming pools. You know anybody in prison in Israel?
No.
No? That's good.
Not currently serving. You do?
I did. I knew a person.
Yeah, I was there for like a night, like on arrest, but I never was in prison.
You got arrested in Israel.
I had to stay in the police station overnight, but I never went to jail.
What did you do? You want to talk about it?
Just selling weed.
Selling weed?
That's why I'm not in the army.
Because you were selling weed?
Yeah, I'm such a criminal.
That's so easy.
Yeah, I know.
That's an easy.
I'm too dangerous.
You don't want to serve in the IDF.
Like,
sell some.
Yeah, but honestly, the Haredi community, for them, none of them serve.
Well, it's changing now.
It's changing, but like, first of all, these Nuteir Kartas, they also do live in Israel. Like, there are like neighborhoods in Israel. Like,
they don't serve.
They don't serve.
But why do they live in Israel if they don't think Jews belong in Israel? Right. Oh no, they don't believe. They don't believe there should be an Israeli state.
Yeah, they don't live in an Israeli state.
Right.
They would rather live in Palestine.
Right. Well, they call it Palestine.
They call it Palestine.
Right.
I actually met a guy there. The Touré Carta, I guess they flew him in for the Palestinian protest in New York. He's like, where do you live? He's like, in Palestine. I'm like, where in Palestine? He's like, Ashdod.
Tel Aviv.
Yeah. Like, Ashdod. It's like, because also it's funny because like Hamas like almost got to Ashdod on October 7th.
Yeah. That's not almost funny. That's almost horrific. But
I mean, it's horrific, but it's just so stupid. It's like you're pro-Palestine. Like Hamas was like literally like they were stopped right before getting to Ashdod.
I wouldn't love to see it, but I would love to.
They only got him and his friends.
I'd love to see. I'd love to see the Touré Carta. But you'd be like, hey, don't worry, we're with you. The Ayatollah said that. Don't worry, we with the Ayatollah. Okay, come here. Cut your fucking Jewish head off. And no, it's fucking insanity.
It's fucking insanity.
It's insanity. Like, I don't know what your lineage is.
Yeah.
But you know mine. I think I told you it. My mother's parents both survived the Holocaust. My father's parents, my father was sent to Siberia by the Russians during World War II for being a Jew.
Holy shit.
And my mother's father her whole family was killed in Romania, and she made it across from Romania to Israel.
Wow.
As a teenager.
Holy shit.
During the Holocaust. So like my grandmother's family, family of like 14 kids, all murdered.
Holy shit. And
the crazy thing was my mother's father, so my great-grandfather on my mother's side, he was actually a U.S. citizen. No. Yeah, he was, because he was a furrier. You know what a furrier is? Yeah. He used to sell, it used to be a big deal 100 years ago, selling like fur coats and pelts and shit like that.
For the Tsar, or?
No, from what's now Ukraine, from Czechoslovakia. Okay. He was just a very big international trader of furs. And because he was so successful, they gave him U.S. citizenship. And he had told my mother's grandmother, my grandmother's mother, we got to get the fuck out of here. Like, the Nazis are coming to kill us. It's like, it's getting bad. Like, cause like, it's a time to get all the way from like Germany across through Poland. Like, they were, Czechoslovakia, Ukraine was all the way at the tip, or on the south tip, So he told them, 2-3 years before the Holocaust happened, like, we have to leave, we have to go. And
he knew what's up.
Well, he was a fucking businessman, and he's traveling back and forth across from the U.S. to Europe.
These fucking people hate us.
Yeah, he's like, yo, they're gonna fucking they're killing us already.
They're lowering my commissions.
Yeah. He's like, I've already had to tuck my fucking Magenta Veden. Like,
the Holocaust is coming. I mean, I used to make 17% on a fur, and now it's 15%. Yeah, it's just fucked.
Dude, we would have done it for 10 if you would have let us live.
Fair.
But she refused to leave. She was like, nah, this is nonsense. They're not going to kill us all. We'll be fine. And in the end, out of like a family of like 15, not to mention like cousins and uncles and shit, I think just my grandmother and 2 sisters and a brother made it out. Okay. Out of everybody.
Holy shit. Yeah. That's wild. I also have some furrier from one of my sides. Yeah. I remember the story. Your back? No, from my back. They shaved it and sold it to the Tsar. They used to do it for someone important in Russia. They made his fur too. I think that's also how they got into the U.S.
Well, then my grandfather came here. That guy on the wall over there. Mm-hmm. He came to the United States. He fought as a partisan with the Czechoslovakian underground resistance against the Nazis. And then they went to Israel. And then when he got to the United States, he was a tailor. He's the guy who did stuff. He used to make suits for what's his name? The one who got impeached.
Nixon?
Yeah, Nixon. He used to make suits for Nixon.
Wild.
Yeah. Yeah, man. See, Jews were fucking.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
Even if you root to see us, we're just going to be in Abu Dhabi making suits for the Sheikh.
The Sheikh. He's doing a good job. The Abu Dhabi, like the way he brought them together, the way he brought all the Emirates together like that.
Yo, dude, like honestly, like I mean, this is why October 7th happened. It's because Iran saw the normalcy happening between the Jewish state and the Arab states surrounding it. And that's their biggest fear. The biggest fear in the world is that we all just live in a modern society and love each other, and that's all I think most human beings want.
I think it's also just like the Muslim world is just like they're pissed. Because they should have the greatest superpower in the world almost. They are. If they attached. If they went from Indonesia till...
Stop giving them ideas, Yoni. That's why they should make a caliphate of all...
That's what Muhammad wanted.
Well, listen.
They're not going to do it now because...
Well, tell that to fucking Bashar al-Assad, who kills 400,000, Muslims in his own fucking...
And that's one of the reasons they hate Israel so much is because they blame us.
Like, they blame us for them killing each other?
Yeah, because, I mean, they broke out Sunnis and Shiites. They started...
I went to Indonesia. I met... hundreds of Muslims, and they're the coolest people in the world. I think most humanity is not radical. I think, we've come to a point in reality, in existence, where it's like, are you radical or are you like a piece of...
I disagree. I think everyone's radical in their own way.
I don't think that. I don't really think that. You think everybody's radical?
Yeah, I think like liberals in the United States are radical.
Yeah,
there's fucking convincing 4-year-olds to transition.
The thing is that radicals are the ones you hear about because they make the most fucking noise. I think the truth is most people are standing around looking at radicals like, look at these retards. Look at these lunatics.
I don't know. I think we live in
The problem, Yoni, is that most normal people don't open their mouth because they're just like, I'm just going to look at these idiots making the...
They're scared to take a side.
They what?
They're scared to take a side about something, but...
I don't know if they're scared to take a side. They just like... Dude, like... I don't know, bro. Like, sometimes I wake up and I see the world. I'm like, I just don't want to get involved. Yeah. You know that feeling.
Of course.
I just don't want to I don't want to be involved. The problem is, we're at a point where if you don't get involved now, you're going to get involved inevitably.
So I actually think that, like, we live in a world that's so polarizing. Like, especially, like, also, like you're a little older than me and I'm a little older than like kids who are 17 and shit.
Right.
But imagine like you grew up and like you never watched TV, you were just TikTok. You come over from school, watch TikTok with your friends. You just consume social media all day.
Bro, TikTok is a fucking virus. You know my opinions on fucking TikTok. I fucking hate it. It's obviously it's a propaganda machine that's used right now to devise the people in the United States.
It's working so well.
It's working.
Like, whoever thought of it, like, fuck you, but wow.
Bro, Donald Trump tried to ban TikTok like 3 years ago. I don't know if you remember that. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
And like, I wasn't 100% behind it, but I was like, yeah, I think maybe if he's thinking it, maybe we should get fucking rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally a propaganda device. Like, depending on the algorithm, depending on who you are, what you think, it's just there to fucking split and divide people. Everything happening these days in the United States, let's like stay within this country, it's meant to divide people in half. They're trying to literally get America to fight itself. And like, that's the greatest tool in the world. If you're the CCP or you're Russia or Iran or North Korea, you get us to kill ourselves from the fucking inside.
The truth is, I think that social media, just like the way it works, or the way the algorithms are run, is that every social media is going to work that way. Like, TikTok is going to be the worst because it's trying to poison us. But all social media is going to poison us because the posts that are like radical and crazy are going to get the most traction. Because people be like, yo, they get the most comments. People start fighting in the comment section and they get likes. They're going to share it to your friends. I'm like, yo, Josh, look, this guy said,
Right, but I don't, even though it's like, it's so archaic at this point, but like, I don't really see that happening on Facebook.
I think it's the worst on Facebook.
Really?
Yo, these fucking boomers go nuts on Facebook.
I don't know. Maybe I have a different algorithm. Mine's just like old people with their fucking cats and shit. No,
it's like they're calling everyone a Nazi.
Listen, I see it on Instagram like crazy. I refuse to be on TikTok. I fucking told my son he's banned from it. I've been trying to fucking get my wife to stop using it. I just know that is there as a poisonous entity to try to destroy. It's a cancer to try to destroy. Personally, I think we've been fighting World War III, but we're like literally on the brink of outward World War III where everyone acknowledges like, oh, now we're fighting multiple countries versus multiple countries. And there is nothing more divisive and more detrimental to the cohesiveness of Americans and allied partners, United Kingdom, Australia, anybody in NATO, peace-loving countries, then I think TikTok.
Yeah, no, TikTok. Because the problem is that at least like Instagram and Twitter and all the other platforms, you could see both sides. TikTok like silences one side, so it's just a cesspool of people just taking it farther and farther.
It's with intention. They're doing it.
They're trying to.
They're doing
I know
it on purpose.
So I'm saying, but even if like people who grew up like watching just like like TV and shit, and they watched some sports and some late night TV and whatever, not gonna be as radical as people who grow up watching videos about like let's say like I like sometimes like just like follow TikTok because I like to know like I find it funny just like how crazy these people are. Like I watch, like I follow these like people like these like girl who like talks about her transformation to becoming a man. Right. Like every day she gives updates, and she's like, yeah. So I started shaving my face. And
right. See, but the thing is that again, I don't go on TikTok, but I know vis-a-vis like my wife and like looking at my kids' TikTok, that shit that they're showing that to Americans. They're not showing that to Chinese kids.
No, they're getting math and science. But
the thing is that if you're doing a different algorithm, like if the algorithm was consistent throughout the whole world, I'd be like, all right, let the whole world become left and woke and we all just, la-di-da together. But that's not what's happening. They're focusing an agenda in certain areas. Of course. Understand? And that's called a weapon.
Of course.
If you're focusing an energy and focusing an agenda, that's weaponization.
Also, because the creators are so addicted to like.
Can you imagine Joseph Goebbels with TikTok?
Yo, he was. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Piece of shit.
Fucking A. Yeah. Fucking A, man. If Joseph Goebbels had TikTok, so I don't think we'd be here right now.
If the Nazis had TikTok, we would be in a lot more trouble.
Dude, I don't think.
I mean, listen, look at Nazi propaganda prior to the World War II and the U.S. Declaring war with Japan and then vis-a-vis war with Germany. They had fucking Nazi in Madison Square Garden. Do you know this? You don't know about this.
No.
In Madison Square Garden of 1938, maybe 1937. They had 100,000 Nazis in Madison Square Garden at a Nazi rally.
Shit.
Yeah, bro.
No.
Yeah, buddy.
What?
Dude, I'll show you the video. It's one of the sickest things.
That's the so fucked up about democracies, honestly. I love democracy. I think it's the greatest thing in the world. But like to have like a country where you have your enemy renting out Madison Square Garden to like promote like Israel just kicked out like this guy who was like pro October 7th from the Knesset. Like what the fuck?
Let me explain why. That's why the United States and Israel as well is the greatest democracies in the entire world, and whoever has a true democracy, which a lot of them don't. Some of them are kind of radical too in a way I like. Shout out Poland. But
what do they do?
Well, Poland won't take any radicals into their country at all.
Like so, no Muslims?
They'll take Muslims in, but not if like you have any allegiance to like Hamas or any type of radicalization. Like you can't.
So they should do.
I agree. But the reason the United States is amazing and Israel is amazing is because they go to the fundamentals of, again, we're Jews. So for me, Jewish theology, which is basically God gave you life. He brought you into this planet. He breathed air into your lungs and he gave you free will, just like Adam and Eve. Just so like, Eve is almost like being like a pro-Hamas Palestinian, terrorist supporter. She goes and grabs the apple, free the river to the sea, but she had the choice to do that. That's why democracy is dangerous, because that's how we can have a rally in Madison Square Garden with 100,000 Nazis chanting fucking crazy Nazi ideology, because it's freedom. Freedom is what God gave us. Freedom is the reality that every human being should have. We should never live in a world where religion of any sort, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, whatever it may be, dominates you. The founding fathers of the United States not the founding fathers, but the founders of the U.S., the pilgrims who came over, they came here for religious freedom. They came here for freedom because they were in England at the time, and if they said certain things that were against what the current establishment's belief in religion were, they could be thrown in jail, beaten up, executed. So they came to the U.S. for freedom. The U.S. is freedom. Israel is freedom. God gave us life on this earth with freedom. What's the point of living in a world where, there's no freedom? It's not real life. Like, the purpose was to be born, have the choice to do what's right or wrong. It doesn't mean that just because you have freedom, anything you do is good. No, you're a thief, you're a piece of shit. You rape people, you're a piece of garbage. You steal this and that, that's all garbage. But you should have the choice to do that up until the choice that you do.
I don't know about you. My choice is usually, my purpose in life is really just to serve Allah and Ayatollah Khomeini.
Well,
follow the word of the Prophet.
If by Allah you mean Hashem, God, the creator of the universe, I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
When it comes to Ayatollah Khomeini, he should go fuck himself. Iran was one of the most beautiful, affluent countries in the world before the Iranian Revolution, which fucking destroyed it. And again, and